it's a trip, like the way we grew up and the mindset, the way, how we were raised, or just raised in the streets. Well, I would say in the 80s I'm gonna say females because that's what I get. I in the 80s. I No, not the 80s because I was little. In the 90s, um, a chola was a gang member. That's how I perceived it. I remember people would call me chola, a chola, chola, and I never felt like I was because I never was from a neighborhood. So the cholas that I did know, they dressed like the cholos, the baggy pants, the Nike Cortez, um, dark lipstick, um, the Sharpie eyebrows, the little crop tops with the leather belts, and the baggy pants. That was a chola. But there was girls obviously that I knew that would look like that and weren't from gangs. To me, they were wannabes, right? They weren't cholas. They wanted to be, but they weren't. But cholas, you had to be from a gang, like the cholos. Same thing. The guys, same stilo, shaved head, white tees, the Ben Davis pants or the big ass Levi's with the Cortez. And that it's crazy because that was what was attracted to a lot of us females. We wouldn't even look at any other dude if he had a shaved head and his pants were creased and clean. That was it. It was like, oh my god, isn't that crazy? Like I think about that now as a grown woman. I'm like, if I was to see that now, I'm like, that fool has no job. You know what I'm saying? But that was what we wanted back in the days. So my dad was into lowriders. He would build lowriders. He had a 63, a 64 Impala. My mom, she had well, obviously I was born in the 80s, so her stock car was an 84 Buick Regal, which is cool because, I have one of those now too. Yeah. So, they were car people when I was little, when I was growing up, when I was a toddler. However, back then, money was tight. He had to sell his cars to basically raise his family. And that's kind of, so growing up, he didn't continue it. So I wasn't in this, and I don't even know how the scene was back in the 80s. I don't know because I just know that he had his cars and he would take them out, and cut them. They would always, people would always try to steal them, stuff like that. So I think that too was kind of like why they kind of, were just like, we're gonna kind of take a break from this. And so that was when I was little. But now, forward to now, I'm actively been in the scene low riding with my husband now for about 5 years. And I have my own all female car club. I'm the president. And yeah, it's been an adventure, like for reals, like that, to say the least. You know what? It's crazy because we just had like this incident where it's kind of opened your eyes. I feel like I want to say, hey, yeah, it's good. The men, they welcome us and we're good out here. But then at the end of the day, we're still women in a male dominated scene. And it's hard because all of these men are still from the old school. They still have that mentality of the old school, where women are supposed to be at home. Like I don't know. Maybe some men can grow out of that, but who am I to say they have or they haven't, you know? So it's hard. It's hard for me to sit here and just say like, yeah, this is what it is, because I could see men that are men are cool with us. They accept us. There's a lot of men that they congratulate us. They're happy for us. They're proud of us. And then there's the men that are quiet. They kind of just like look at us like, they give us the looks like, what are they doing here? And then you hear stuff. you hear stuff, but I don't pay attention to that stuff. I kind of take it for what it is. Hey, if people are accepting to us, then hey, let's run with it. That's cool. Let's do what we're doing. Let's continue because, why not? For me personally, as a woman, I'm open to all that stuff. I don't view that stuff as sexist. I definitely see it as art. I mean, there's so many beautiful women are beautiful by nature, and I feel like we embrace that. And when women are confident within themselves and they share that with other women, and that is, to me, that's a form of confidence, and it's actually what is the word I'm looking for? It's flattering to me that they see us like that. Personally, I kind of just keep an open mind. I don't judge. I don't jump to conclusions when I see a dude with naked chicks on his car. It's like, that's some dope art on there, and that's it. It's not. I don't sit there and I wonder this, and why does he have, it's we're all out there for the same thing. And sometimes I feel like we should do that. I've heard women say we should have men take pictures with our cars, and I laugh because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like, I don't know about that. That's not, but then that goes back to a women thinking like, hey, let's swap roles, right? Because we're out here with our own cars, and I'm like, let's not get carried away. I feel like I deal with that on a daily just in my home with my children. I have three daughters. So one of my daughters is very a feminist. She's like, she hates when my husband says bitch, or he gets infuriated, right? So they kind of go at it because my husband's from the old school, and he's like, not that he's, I would say he's a mild version of machismo, but he's had to kind of roll with the punches as time has progressed. It's like that it isn't like that anymore. Even with just me being in the lowrider scene, it's been an eye-opening experience, a learning experience for both of us, just to really see where we fit in and how we really feel about those roles that we grew up playing and seeing, So it's definitely been an adventure to just see how everything plays out just in our day-to-day family life with everybody's opinions. How my husband, perfect example, one of my daughters just went out on a date a couple days ago, and she says, Mom, do you know what Dad told me? And I said, what? She goes, he told me that I better not be kissing none of these boys because I'm going to look like a floozy. I was like, and she was like appalled that he said that. But that's the old school male mentality, right? But my daughter's like, what the heck? Because I give a guy a kiss, now I'm a floozy? She's like, come on. And I told my husband, I said, hey, why are you telling her? He was like, I was just messing around. She's like, no, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. So it's just those day-to-day topics are, like I said, it goes back to, how we grew up and how the kids grow up now, and how we kind of combine the two and live without fighting over that shit, or making it even an issue. Yeah, it's funny. When I don't know if you might have seen it, you might not. I kind of did like a little interview with that guy Peter Santanello. I don't know if you know who he is on YouTube. He's a YouTuber. He does like all these he visits like all this stuff, and it kind of was originally supposed to be like Chicana culture thing, but we kind of did, it ended up being more of a lowrider thing because I took him to a show. So yeah, he ended up being more lowrider. It wasn't so much Chicana, but more lowrider, females and lowriding. And it's funny because like afterwards, I was like, wait, wasn't it supposed to be on Chicanas? And I had so much more insight and stuff that I wanted to, that I was like, I could have told him all this other shit, that the stuff that I was talking about with you about, like, females. And I talk about this with my VP because her husband's He's a ex Cholo and stuff, and now he has a business. He's a contractor. So you know, we talk about all that stuff.